All right, so today let's talk about when carriers cancel your loads after you've already covered with that carrier, agreed to the price, and then on the day of, they give you a call and say, hey, Brandon, we're gonna have to cancel that load. We're not able to pick it up because of a maintenance issue, or we're not able to pick it up because of detention at our last destination. We're not gonna be able to get there on time. Sorry about that. Now, some of those reasons are legitimate reasons. Sometimes those things happen. But then there are other times when carriers cancel your loads because your rate was too low and they left their load or their truck posted and they continued to search for loads and they found a better load than you had and you and that person had agreed to. Now, here's the deal. You have a job as a freight broker. You have to get loads covered. You have to find carriers to get those loads covered. But at the same time, you have to be priced so that your loads are attractive, right? Because just like we have to make money as freight brokers, we also have to understand the game we're in. Carriers have to make money as well. So if you're not priced correctly, that is going to cause you problems as a freight broker as you move in this space, right? You're going to continue to have problems if you're not priced correctly. And you have a fear of missing out on loads from your shippers, so you give them these discounts. But discounts will cause your loads to become frustrated so that you're not able to get those loads moved, or you're not able to get them moved on time. And they also are going to affect your profit margins, because when you have a load that cancels, guess what happens? You may be making a 20% margin on the front side of that, or a 15% margin. Well, after it cancels, now you got to recover that load. And trust me, when you are trying to get a load covered at the last minute, you're going to make significantly less money on that load a lot of times. Okay, so it's important that you are priced so that your loads are attractive for carriers and you can get those loads covered and covered on time. This is a competitive space. You cannot just put in your mind getting discounts to your shipper so that they'll give you loads, right? Because a lot of times when you don't provide those discounts, you don't get the loads. So it's important to be priced attractively, priced according to market. As a new freight broker though, you probably look at market, you try to understand what the market prices are, but you may want to even be a little bit higher than market, because you don't have a network yet. You don't have the truck capacity that a seasoned freight broker would have. He's going to have more options. He can get those loads covered at lower prices, but you are going to need more room in those prices. So you need to have solid pricing. I'm not telling you to go out and be 15, 20% higher than the next person, because you're going to price yourself out of those loads. But I am saying you need to be attractive. Your loads need to be attractive to carriers, right? Now, on the flip side of the coin, what we understand as freight brokers is that cancellations are a part of the game. This is how it works. And when these cancellations occur, we have to take the necessary steps to get the load recovered. So here's the first thing that I think you should do when a cancellation occurs. Number one, go ahead and try to talk to the carrier that you're working with. Try to find out if it's a detention issue, for example. Find out how long does he think that he'll be in detention? Have they given him some idea? Is he just going to be a few hours late? Is it possible that we can get recovered for the following day? Find out where he is on that. If you get any pushback, if you feel like he's just not interested in covering the load, now it's time to move to the second step. The second step is to contact your shipper. Let them know what's going on. Make them aware that your load was canceled. You had it covered, but the driver canceled the load, and now you are trying to recover the load. This way, it will give them an option to say, you know what, we want to pull in another freight broker. We want to pull in other carriers on this because this is a high priority load and we cannot afford to miss the go time on this particular load. That way, you're covering the bases when you give that shipper the heads up. They may come out and say, you know what, just go ahead and get it covered. Even if you have to wait an additional day, is not a problem. And the third step, when you repost that load to your load board, make sure you post it with a price. A carrier is much more likely to call you back on a load that's posted with a price than they would if a price was not posted with the load. When they see a price, they know that you are more serious. Also, when the carrier calls you or you call the carrier, don't start talking that desperate talk, giving them too much information about what has happened already with the load. Oh, the load was canceled. The shipper really needs to get it covered because your prices go up. Don't talk yourself into a higher price. Now, last but not least, step number 4. Once you go ahead and get that load recovered, go ahead and give your shipper a call and let them know you're good to go. The load has been recovered. That way they can go ahead and call the dogs off because the hunt is over. Just understand that cancellations happen in this game, but you need to be able to recognize why your loads are being canceled. Once you understand why, then you put a plan in place to make sure that it's not something that continues to happen. That's what I wanted to share with you today. I certainly hope this information has been helpful. If you want to learn more about the freight broker business, I'll leave a free link in the description. It's my 5-video series. It walks you through the process of getting started in your freight broker business and showing me in the office, moving loads, talking to shippers and carriers so you can get a better understanding of how the business works. And then if you want to know how we go out and get those customers, how we find shippers as freight brokers, why those shippers work with us, I'll leave a free video right here explaining to you exactly how that's done. So until the next time, I wish you the very best in your life and business. See you at the top because the bottom is much too crowded.